All right. Terrible. All right. That was good enough for that. All right. Once again, we just want to reach out to Brandon Flowers with the Killers. We'd like to use your song "Dying Breed." Please respond so we don't have to keep playing that. Okay. Welcome to episode 4.
I cannot remember if this is 4 or 5.
It's 4, I think. Welcome to episode 4 of Dying Breed, the veterinary podcast. We are here today sponsored by Glenwood and Silt Veterinary Clinics. We're a group out in the western slope of Colorado, and we are the only locally owned private practice on the western slope that practices mixed animal, and really the only locally owned anymore, period. Also, thank you to the Equinnection, which is Hannah. Dr. Hannah May is her tag, right? Is what it's called. Handle. What's your handle?
I think
On Bumble.
We gotta make you.
I think it's just Vonch 15. Very basic.
Okay.
He's welcoming followers even though he has a private account.
Yeah, it's private, but if any of you aspiring veterinary ladies out there are interested in Dr. Vonch, please DM him. Slide into his DMs. He's available, but only on certain weekends because he's also on call. The Equinnection is getting you started in the equine industry one stride at a time. It's media outreach to help people get started in the equine industry. So if you are struggling to get going in the equine industry or find confidence, reach out to Hannah, and she can help. And certainly you feel free to reach out to our practices as well. It might surprise you, but Hannah also does the social media for the practices. So you could probably reach out to any of
You
that.
can reach me on like about 7 accounts on social media.
Yeah, that's
Any
right.
of the 7 would work.
I think we are live on some sort of platform. Tick Face Talk.
We're on Instagram right now. I tried to do TikTok and they needed to age verify me. So maybe next time we'll do TikTok, but for now we're just on Instagram.
Okay, just Instagram, which is exciting. We haven't been live before, so watch your mouth, Vonch.
Yep.
I also just wanted to quickly just put out there, we are in our local area, we are dealing with a pretty big fire right now. It's called the Lee Fire. It's north of Rifle, which is just 15 minutes away from us, 15 minutes down the road. But just wanted to kind of say thank you to all the first responders who are helping to mitigate that fire. And obviously, we are here to help however we can too. Certainly if anyone who's listening needs help with evacuations or stuff like that, we do have the ability to help with, animals, horses. We've done this years ago. There was the Lake Christine fire, and we had to help people kind of move animals during that time. So for this episode, we are going to be talking about vet school applications, and we have chosen the people at the practice who are most associated or who most recently remember the application process. So we do have a new face on board. He shaved his mustache for this.
Yeah.
It's coming back just a little.
On its way.
Yeah.
It depends if he's on call or not.
That's right. That's how we can tell. If you're
Yeah.
fresh shaven on Monday, you weren't on call.
His hair is upright today though, so that's that's a step. Sometimes when it's down, it's been a bad day.
It looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously we know Dr. Hannah. Matt, we don't know. Sorry, Matthew wants to be referred to as Dr. Matthew David Vonch, Senior. Is it Senior, the second?
Yeah. There's not a junior yet, so
Right, but you're like a plan in advance type guy. You just want to be sure you're already a senior.
right.
So tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so like Sam explained, Dr. Matthew Vonch. We don't have to say the David part. Most people just call me Matt. I'm from Illinois, suburbs of Chicago, Joliet. I am a dual graduate from University of Illinois, so went there in undergrad, graduated in 2020, and just recently graduated from there for vet school this past May. In terms of my upbringing and what brought me here, did not go in the vet school thinking I would do mixed animal. It was until about 2 summers ago when I came out here and did an externship at Sam's Clinic in Glenwood and really got the feel for mixed animal and really decided that I wanted to go down this path. And then reached out last summer for their apprenticeship position that they had, applied for it, and here I am now. I'm about a month and a half in. It's been a lot of work, a lot of experience, and a lot of learning so far. But yeah.
And he's doing great.
Agreed.
He's rocking the calls. We saw a pig and a goat this weekend. And
Coliking
a couple
horses.
horses, and yeah, it's been good. And he saw a small animal by himself. Didn't even go for that. He didn't tell me actually
No.
that it happened.
Was it just Kana's cat?
Yeah.
Good job. Great. Well, sometimes what I find interesting about the vet community is, when did you decide you wanted to be a vet?
Ooh, vet school question right off the bat. Probably as far back as I can think, probably when I was 5 years old. Always liked animals. We had our dogs growing up. We always owned Westies, West Highland Terriers, so always wanted to be that. And then it really became a goal right before high school. It's like, all right, I know I want to go to the University of Illinois because they do have a vet program and their animal science program is really high regarded. I'm like, I know I want to do this, and just volunteering in high school at dog rescues, and then in undergrad and college, being able to work at the local shelter, getting my first step into veterinary medicine. I would say it's like, all right, I do want to do this. Mostly small animal focused at first, and then applying through vet school and eventually getting in. Applied twice. I didn't get in the first time around, so took a gap year, which coordinated during COVID. So just went back home, worked at my local clinic, got more experience, and then finally got in the vet school. The rest is history.
Here we are.
When did you decide you want to be a vet?
The same. I don't remember a time that I didn't want to be a vet.
Not until you became a vet. That's when you decide you're not sure
Yeah.
you still want to be a vet.
Yeah, exactly. You start practicing and then you're like, I don't know.
I can remember lots of times that I didn't want to be a vet, but it wasn't until after I became a vet.
Yeah. Yeah. But grew up, horseback riding, and never owned horses, but really liked them and knew that I ideally wanted to spend every day that I could with them and not be a trainer or a barn manager. So this was the option.
And so we're talking about vet school applications. So who are we talking to? Who's our audience?
Undergrad students, really.
Yeah, junior year, senior year, undergrad students is probably
or people who want to, are changing careers, because there's a lot of those. Or people who, have applied and are still applying.
And is there any difference between these groups, that in terms of the starting of the process?
I don't know. I mean, I do think, and we can talk about this, because I think you didn't take a gap year either. You just went straight in.
I told you what it is. I just started showing up
Yeah.
to the vet school in the anatomy lab, and I just
went with it.
Just one day they were like, "Are you in this class?" And I was like, "I'm actually not sure." And then one day they just handed me a diploma.
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay."
Here you are.
And no one has asked me since if I'm actually a true vet. So we're just going to keep cutting stuff off horses. And
Oh my
one of these days, someone's going to be like, "Could I see your license actually?"
Oh my
Like, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm licensed.
He is licensed. I have it in a document.
he's grandfathered in
Exactly.
through experience.
Yeah, my grandfather.
But I think I was gonna say that there is a difference in the feeling of applying your first time versus applying a second or third time. And the same goes for people who go out and do a different career and then come back and decide to do this. Either way, you are starting a new portion of your life. And I think no matter whether you did undergrad or have a gap year or a straight through or changing careers, any experience that you get before your application is helpful. And the more experience you have, honestly, the better.
Well, I think that, I think that's something that translates throughout our careers, is this sense of you need to get things done within a certain period of time, or else you have failed. And that's just simply not the case. I mean, my best friend in vet school, he was in his second career. He had worked for Purina, basically being like a rep for their feedlots. And this was his second career. I mean, he was 10 years older than I am now when he started vet school. I remember sitting at him with next to him at our we went to a Greek place for our first dinner with all of the new people that were getting together, and I was like, who is this guy? And yeah, so Big Kev was this was his second career. And I mean, I think the hardest part for him was just the getting back into the classwork.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's ever too late to,
I agree.
to go and become a veterinarian. I mean, we've also had other people who have, who've done that as second careers. I mean, Dr. Meese, he's who I bought the practice from. He was a diesel mechanic before he was a vet. So you almost wonder if some of that life experience actually translates into helping people be more successful as veterinarians when they've already gone. And, I think a lot of vets, they go in their whole life, they're like, since I was 5, I always wanted to be a vet. And then all of a sudden they get here and they're like, oh my God, this is terrible. I'm just kidding. But sometimes, whereas other people, they'll go, they work a job, they realize, they didn't grow up with, they didn't wake up in the morning when they were 4 years old and say, I want to be a diesel mechanic.
Yeah.
They just said that's a job, right?
Yeah.
And then they, I think that's what vets sometimes get disenchanted with, is this whole, like, it's not, sometimes it is just a job. Sometimes it's your passion, it's your calling, and you have to kind of parse that out.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that any life experience before vet school is very helpful. And I get a lot of people on social media who like comment and they're like, I'm 40 and I have 2 kids and I just don't know. Do you think I could go back? And I'm like, absolutely. Like, I mean, like obviously there's pros and cons and there's debt and all that. And when you have kids, there's that too. But I know plenty of people who are parents and who were parents in vet school and did probably better than me on some exams. And I don't think it negatively affects you unless you let it.
Yeah, and like I don't know what you said, Hannah. Like definitely my class just saw graduating. We had people who had families already. We had people or we had someone in their early 50s who had a PhD in like calculus, who left his cushy like 10-year job from Cornell and came over and was like, I wanted to do this. I want to be a cat vet, which I was like, wow,
Good for
you
him.
you left your family behind to come here, but it was a passion he had. And then we had like certified vet techs who, after being certified vet techs for a couple of years, like, I want to take the next step and be a vet, and just kind of showed where there's different aspects and there's different paths to get to the same destination that we all want to get to.
Yeah. And I agree that I don't think it's a rush. I think that you can take however much time. I think I had the same like mentality of like, I want to graduate vet school by the time I'm 25. I want to be a surgeon by 30, and that's what I want to do. And I'm never going to look in a different direction. And here I am. And I'm glad I did.
Well, but I mean, I think that's the thing, is like you get out into the field of life and all of a sudden your definition of success becomes really challenging, because you realize like everyone else is going to define it for you. And I think it's really easy to define when you're at this stage, right? When you're applying for vet school, it's easy to define success, right? Because what is success? I got into vet school, right? And then success isn't really I graduated from vet school, because I think like once you're in, it just becomes this kind of this choo-choo train, right? Like just like I just got to get through it. I just got to get to this next test. I just got to get to this next semester to get it. Boom, 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 and then all of a sudden you open your eyes one day and you're sitting in Silt, Colorado, and it's like, what happened? You know
Right.
what I mean? So tell us, what's the first step? What do you do if I'm a new person and I want to be a vet? What's the first thing I need to do?
Shadow.
Yeah. Just getting into the field, I think is really important, whether it's shadowing, working at a local shelter, interning at some vet clinics if they offer that, or just even really just having the passion. I think like the passion for it is the key to getting into it. But like shadowing, what Hannah said, and like going to your local vet where like your family's always taking your animals, I think is a great first step, because that's how I got into it. Just being in a vet clinic environment. Our family doctor, who's now my great mentor, Dr. Paul Blasso, He's been our family vet for like 20 years now. And he was the first one who offered me a job in a vet clinic when all the other clinics around declined applications. So he really getting your family vet, I think, is a great first step into get into the field.
I think shadowing is the first way because you have to know it's a big commitment. It's a lot of debt if you don't, have the privilege of having it covered, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of years of your life. And it's a very different career than you might think it is. And there's also so many different aspects of it, like small animal versus large animal mixed. There's also obviously like working for companies or academic institutions and shelters and regulation like USDA stuff. So like there's so many different parts of being a vet. So just starting off and getting the experience is a good first step. I mean, it is hard to get a paid position in the vet industry, and I struggled with that a lot because I wasn't financially able to just shadow somewhere. I did when I could, but like in order to support myself, I needed a job. And like I'm very thankful for the job that the doctor that took a chance on me and hired me over the phone. It worked out really good, and I learned a lot from that, and I still really respect her and think that she's one of the best vets I've worked with.
And so my secondary question to that is, because some people might hear that and that sounds all very nice, but does that help me get into vet school?
I think yes.
Yeah.
You need hours.
Experience.
How many hours do you need?
There's a pre-vet advisor at CSU who is like the pre-vet advisor, and I don't know if she's still there or not, but she always said at least 1,000 hours to me. And so that's what I went off of, and I think it's a safe number, and I think a lot of people applying have 2,000 or 3,000, honestly.
Macklemore says 10,000. If Macklemore wants to do the start of our show, he can do it too. We can change the name.
Yeah?
Can't say.
Which Macklemore?
Thrift Shop Macklemore.
Oh, no, I mean like is that the song you would pick?
Yeah.
Or Can't Hold Us.
Thrift Shop would be our opener for this podcast?
Yeah, we would change the name of the podcast to Thrift Shop.
Okay.
Which is basically kind of what being a mixed animal vet is a little bit, right? Only got $20 in my pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think 1,000 hours what I was told. And then there was a separation, correct? There's a delineation of what kind of hours.
Yeah, like animal care versus like direct veterinary.
Yeah, and then species.
Oh, see, I don't think species matters, but I was told it did. But
correct. Yeah, I was told it.
I was
didn't matter
because I had zero. Like I think I had maybe it was 24 hours of equine experience before vet school, and the director of CSU equine science at the time sat me down with my resume and told me that I would not get into vet school to be an equine vet because I did not have equine experience, and I got in fine. So I don't think it matters.
You know what we should do? Because I think this is still a question that none of us truly know the answer to, right? We should try to find someone who's like
on the board.
Yeah, and we should interview them.
Yeah.
So if anyone is watching who knows someone on the board, any board,
admissions,
preferably admissions board of veterinary school, not just like
some person
board of corrections. Yeah, then we should get them on so we can ask them these questions.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They probably just play darts with the resumes.
I think there's like I've been told certain vet schools there is like a GPA like pile, like you just
yeah.
Mine got misplaced. Okay, so you have this delineation, 1,000 hours. You want to have 500 of veterinary specific, so anything in a veterinary hospital, being a tech assistant or, just being in shadowing, anything. And then you need 500 hours of something that's not veterinary specific. So what were your guys' hours?
So specifically with
Dr. Paul.
Dr. Paul.
Is that his name? Paul, right?
Yeah, Dr. Paul Blasso.
Yeah,
Dr. Blasso.
I did not remember that. So amazing.
So in terms of like the whole hours thing.
You lied on your resume?
No.
Okay.
So like what Illinois told us, because the Illinois Animal Science program specifically geared you up for applying for Illinois veterinarian school. And with them, wasn't more so about the medical experience. It was more so, are you having an experience with these animals? Like, or like some people would work at the dairy farm that we had on campus, the horse barns. I did a different way. I did research with swine for a whole summer to get hours with
Where were you?
livestock.
Where were you like an hour ago?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't say I liked it.
You're the pig guy.
Exactly.
You don't want to be the pig guy.
I think you're becoming him.
But yeah, so like their whole thing was like just get as many hours as you can and as diversified of the hours as you can. So they're like work with multiple species, and that's like what our school is looking for. I don't know how other schools would go about it, but I know Mizzou, for example, declined my application because they're like, you didn't have enough equine hours.
Really?
That was the only thing that held me back from getting
Huh. That's
going
really
there.
interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess CSU doesn't care is the summary. At least, or they didn't for me, or they just put me in the pile for some other reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do think diversity in species is ideal, and I like a lot of people talk about like getting research experience too. Can always add. My other than I did a lot of small animal like tech assistant roles for like 3 different clinics. One was a mixed animal actually, and then 2 were small animal. And then I worked for lab animal resources on CSU's campus, and that was at a time where it was basically animal husbandry for all of the lab animals, and so they cross-trained you, so it was everything from chickens and guinea pigs and rats and mice to the deer and the sheep lab, and muntjac deer and all sorts of crazy things, taking care of them. And I did learn a lot working with the white-tailed deer because they are interesting to work with, and sometimes terrifying, but
So that counted as non-veterinary, the lab.
non-veterinary, yeah.
Okay.
Because I like sometimes would go with the lab animal vets, but it was not often. And then I guess in that pile too, I did work at the Equine Orthopedic Center for research on CSU campus for like the year before I applied, and then I also studied abroad in New Zealand, and so I think that was like a diverse experience. And I worked at their vet school equine hospital. That was the 24 hours of equine experience that I had with a vet was in New Zealand at Massey University, and that was amazing. It was like my first choke, my first colic, like hospital stuff. That was the first time I ever saw a horse hung on a hoist, and that was crazy to me. But yeah, that was my experience.
Yeah, and like international stuff, like study abroad. Did something similar. We did volunteer spay neuter trips to Guatemala for 2 weeks where we go to communities that were in the mountains of Guatemala that didn't have access to vet care. And we would run clinic days and do spay neuters just right there on card tables that were covered with black trash bags and like an abandoned school or like a gymnasium.
And you did that in undergrad?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's really cool. That's a great experience to have.
So it was like the first introduction to like small animal surgery.
That's awesome.
I was trying to join your.
My live.
Yeah.
So you can ask yourself a question.
Can people ask questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how are they? But you're not monitoring it.
No, that's what I haven't thought through the whole process yet.
So my question is, when did you guys start getting experience? Because I think that's like when you have these kids who are in 4-H, you have these kids who are maybe they're in urban areas and they want to start getting experience. So what age did you start getting experience that you would say you can put on a resume that would then eventually be used for a vet school application?
16, working at like dog rescue adoption events. It was like an all cattle herding breed rescue, I remember specifically. They would go to multiple PetSmarts in the Chicagoland area. They just kind of set up and be like, hey, can you adopt these rescue dogs most of them were from like Texas and Oklahoma. That was like the first introduction just working with animals. And then second year of undergrad, so I was about 19 is when I started getting into the medical aspect of it. So applied for an internship at our local Humane Society down in Champaign-Urbana, where U of I was at. And that's how I got my first introduction to like vet med. And then applying for a job the summer between second and third year of undergrad at my family's clinic. Started as a kennel assistant and worked my way up. But yeah, I would say 16 to 19 is the age I started getting experience with. I know some people it's a lot younger.
Mm-hmm. I saw my first spay at like, I think it was in 8th grade. And it was just like I saw a couple spays or maybe a spay and a neuter, and I don't remember. And it was my family vet, and it was just like a 3-day thing. It wasn't like a long thing. But that was like my first experience. And then I don't know, like in terms of animal husbandry, I had like other stuff. Like I worked at like a nature center that did a ton of like reptiles and like other exotic things that I would take care of. And then like horseback riding is horse husbandry sometimes. And then but like real vet experience I did not start until my like summer after freshman year of undergrad. And I feel like that's early for some people, late for some people. I feel like I don't know, it's probably pretty average. How about you?
When did I start?
You did the Dumb Friends League volunteering.
Yes. Shout out to the Dumb Friends League. Now Humane Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
We actually adopted a dog there last week. She is doing very well.
She's very cute.
She is very cute. So shout out to them, and big thank you to Ben and Hortensia, who are still there. Even after all these years, they're still at the Dumb Friends League now, Humane Colorado, and it was really great to see them. But I started in kitty comfort. Yeah. So I started when I was about 15 or 16. I don't think it's ever too early to start. I mean, I think have your parents sign waivers. I mean, just get in and start getting experience as soon as possible. And I mean, I started at a emergency clinic, and I was like, I just kept showing up, and they were like, I started out by shadowing, and I was like, can I shadow? And they were like, yeah, sure, you come in. And, it's like us, right? I mean, we've had students come in and shadow, and then we're like, are you going to come in tomorrow? And they're like, I don't know, maybe. And then they never show up again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just kept showing up. And then finally, after I'd been there for like a month, they were like, look, do you want us to just pay you? And so at that point, yeah, I mean, they gave me a job, and but I think it just took persistence and kind of like I don't care about being paid. I just want to be around this because this is what I'm willing to put in the time. So I think it's never too early, and I think you do need to be keeping track of that stuff because all of it will matter on your resume when it comes time to apply. No opportunity, whether it's 3 days in 8th grade or whatever, and I think it helps tell the story, right? It tells the story of the person. Whereas when they see these applications and it's like, I did all of these, I got my 1,000 hours this year to prepare for vet school. That's not what we want to see, right? And I'm saying proverbial we. Obviously, I've not been asked to make any application decisions, but I welcome any institution if they want me to help. I'm happy to help, pick people for their vet schools. So yeah, I would say it's never too early, and yeah, that tells the story. I mean, that's what people want to. That's what the board wants to see is the story of the person. So after the hours, obviously that's the most important aspect, but then there's the academic aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that look like?
I mean, depending on the school you want to apply to, different schools have different prerequisites, so you need to meet those prerequisites.
Yeah, why do we have to take physics? Can someone tell me?
I
One
use
and two.
physics more than I use OChem. I think I use physics for like bandaging and blood pressure stuff. Like I think about it more than the average person maybe.
What?
I love math and I like calculus, so like.
Okay, another thing that I have not used yet.
Calculus, yeah.
Yeah.
Math's just used for drug
calculate your own
conversions.
drugs.
That's not calculus. That's not what we learned in calculus.
I
learned, you know what I learned? I learned that my roommate Roddy was really good at calculus. That's what I learned in calculus.
Oh my gosh. I use physics, I feel like, for blood pressure stuff. Like if you are like calculating rates and stuff like that and it gets like resistance and you're like looking at you don't relate at all.
No, I used to fall asleep in my physics class, and then I would wake up and I was like, what class am I in? Because I would start in physics class, then I'd wake up and I was in the next class
Oh my
because
god.
no one woke me up to leave physics class. So
Wow.
Too many late nights out.
no, it was just really boring. Physics is really boring.
I took both in high school, so I feel like maybe it's just like happier memories because it was before OChem.
Yeah, OChem, we don't use OChem either.
OChem ruined me. I hate OChem. Yeah, that was like my first like really bad grades.
I mean, it's like anything, right? I mean, it's a bit like it's a rite of passage, I think. We'd have to really go through each class and say, do we use this in vet med? That's the real question,
Yeah.
right? Let's start with Chem 1. No.
Only for the math. Like I only use it for conversion. Like that's where I learned.
But that's not like
But
strictly.
it's not. I mean, yeah, it's math. It's
I can teach vet school math. Can you divide or multiply by 2.2?
yeah.
That's veterinarian math right there, right? I just did it.
Yeah.
They should hire me to. Can I get tenured now? Vet school math.
Yeah.
What other classes? OChem, don't need that.
That's what I was gonna look up.
Biochem you need.
My favorite part about OChem, we used to have lab. And did you guys do you remember how they told you not to pour everything down the sink?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
They had the.
I poured everything down the sink. Guess what? We're all still here.
Are we surprised? No. I broke a lot of things in OChem. That was not.
Oh my god.
I hated. I only got through OChem because of the people in my lab group. Like otherwise, I had no idea what was going on. And probably similar for some of the like not biochem, but like the school or the class at CSU that's like one of the highest fail rate classes is BMS 300, which is like the intro to anatomy and physiology. No,
That castle.
that's a throwback though. Yeah, but it's the first time that you learn like anatomy and physiology and like the heart and the lungs and like everything. And the guy who taught it, I think he's a phenomenal professor. I think he's a phenomenal teacher, but I also like kind of hate him because that was the hardest thing. But it prepares
Which
you.
one is
for
the
med school.
sensor one?
Oh my gosh. I love how I go to the prereq requirements
For CSU.
and I get to see Vivian. That was our class president right there. She's amazing. She's like in some freaking residency now.
No
She's
free
very
ads.
smart.
No free ads.
It's just Vivian.
Can you
It's not-
you need to scoot over a little bit. People can't see you.
That's what I was saying. You're migrating too much, I think.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, so prereqs for CSU are
All right, you go through the prereqs. We're going to say whether or not we ever use it. in vet med.
any biology course with a lab,
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I think biology you need.
Yeah.
genetics.
No.
And no.
I think it's good
Shout out
for
Dr. Tagian. Thank
Oh
you
my
for
gosh.
teaching me genetics.
I think for like horse like some
For
breeding
breeding.
stuff it could be
But it's simple.
useful to have basic genetics.
It's just pedigrees.
What
Here.
isn't it? What was the dude who did all the flowers or whatever?
Gregor Mendel.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that guy.
A monk.
Yeah. With the
Yeah.
peas.
Yeah, the little like the
Peas.
graphs and what.
Component squares.
Yeah,
Good job. Yeah.
waste of time.
I think it's good to know. I think it's good background material.
All right.
Cell biology. How
I think what we should do for this is we should vote. We have 3 people.
Yeah.
So biology, we all said yes.
Yeah.
Genetics,
oh
that's no.
damn.
Are you gonna give our list of what they actually
Yeah.
classes to stay awake in?
Cell biology.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's different from normal biology. I guess just cells instead of animals.
I don't know,
Yeah, like interaction.
mitochondria and some other
Powerhouse cell.
bullshit.
I don't know.
What else is ribosomes? I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say
It
things.
says
that
mRNA.
mRNA, good.
organelles, organelle
Organelles.
function, cell signaling.
The Krebs cycle.
I think
Yes.
you need
Ooh, the
that.
Krebs cycle you do need, I think.
Yeah, I think you need that. So then the next one is
What is the Krebs cycle?
It's
ATP.
important. Yeah. That. The number
also-
of ATP
Like a
produced.
circle.
I think understanding like the sodium potassium pumps, that's important
Yeah.
Yeah.
for one of the more
So
negative
that's-
things we do.
The next thing would be anatomy or physiology.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like for sure. I think that's a big one. Like I think if you don't like that class, maybe don't do this.
Stay awake. Stay awake
Yeah.
for phys.
Yeah.
Big shout out to my anatomy and phys teachers. They were awesome.
For vet school or undergrad?
Undergrad.
Boston
They were
College.
yeah, BC. Dr. Di Benedetto.
Any other
Biochem.
upper division biomedical science.
Are you saying more? I thought you were reading them to us.
I am read. That's what it says. Any additional upper division biomedical science courses, you need 9 credits of it.
I think you should take as much physiology as possible.
So it would be biochem, genetics, physiology, or cell biology,
I
just
think-
like advanced.
Biochem, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really remember. I don't really know. I don't think I could describe what
Biochem.
biochem is. But
Your first year of vet
It's
school.
like once again, it's the body, but it's like more in depth of all of the cycles of crap.
yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Shout out to Adderall for getting me through biochem.
Yeah, we had
No free ads.
our biochem professor at CSU is a Red Sox fan.
He sounds cool.
Or maybe he hated the Red Sox. I don't remember. Oh no, you know what? I think he was a Rockies fan and he hated the Red Sox, and I wore a Red Sox jacket every day. And then that was the year we won the World Series.
There's a different professor teaching BMS 300 now. Look, I can see that.
I know Walren retired. I know.
Sad.
I sometimes I think about him though, and I think like I should email him and be like,
Thank you.
thank you. He would have no idea who I was. Biochem, physics with lab.
No.
No, definitely not physics.
I vote yes, but clearly I'm
No.
outnumbered
No,
here.
it's like
No.
someone throws a ball and also there's a lion at the same time. What's the speed of light or something? That was physics. Oh, neuroscience.
Neuroscience. You did that in undergrad?
Yeah, I thought neuroscience was good.
Did you?
We
do
did
that?
not do that.
I did not do that. I
Like
also,
if your school has any like specific like
Oh.
cardiology or like
yeah,
anything like that, I think those specific, because you're gonna see that stuff again, right? Like
yeah.
all of the after taking neuroscience, a lot of the stuff that I learned like saw in vet school I'd already seen.
Or like infectious disease.
Infectious
That's
disease,
what I was gonna
That was a
say.
good
bacteriology,
one.
virology.
Yeah.
If you can take anything that you're going to see again in vet school, do it, because there's not that many of them
Mhm.
that we're going to go over again.
There's
Right?
a list of important ones and then the rare zebra ones and then
I did not take microbiology in undergrad, and that I do think hurt me when it came to like learning all of that in vet school, because I had no idea what they were talking about and they acted like I did.
In microbiology, we had this hilarious, crazy professor. I'm not going to say her name, but one day we did not want to do microbiology, so I was paid to unplug the projector before she got in,
Oh my god.
and she spent the first 45 minutes trying to figure out how to get going and then let us loose early.
good
Is
job.
it worth it?
I,
Like
You got out
100%.
early.
absolutely. I went and hung out, and now what doesn't exist anymore, I went and hung out in the Dust Bowl. That's what we used to, there was this big green area in BC.
What's
So,
next on the
Stats.
no?
no, sorry, Dr. McGowan.
Yes. Oh my gosh, but for research you need to know stats.
Are we doing research?
Yeah,
I
what's
did some research.
what is it, p-value? Is that a thing?
Yes, I think you should
What the?
Yeah.
at least, I think that's valuable.
All right.
But
Next.
I'm clearly voted against. Liberal
I mean, you
arts.
have to take them. But,
Yeah.
like, I'm
Which
just
ones
saying
you have
which
to
ones.
pay attention to
Yeah.
or not.
I mean, you
I
have
guess-
like, I think the other thing though is that like what people fail to understand, because I remember had this in my interview. I took the classes at BC, and then I studied abroad for a semester.
Where did you go?
I
Oh,
lived,
the Galapagos.
I was on the Galapagos,
Right.
yeah.
Turtles.
And so like I came back, and I remember the lady that was like looking over my application. She was like looking at my application, and she was like, "Wow, you got a 4.0 on on your study abroad. That's really impressive." I was like,
I did
Are you
nothing.
kidding me? We had like we would go scuba diving every day,
Oh
and
my gosh.
we would draw pictures of the fish we saw on our little
Oh my
things.
gosh, that sounds
That
Like
was-
a playbook in the NFL kind
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly. It was like a quarterback. Yeah, it was like a quarterback sheet. And then I would like draw a picture and then come back and try to figure out what fish I saw. That was,
So
and I was
what?
like,
6 months.
yeah, I got an A in that class.
that's
And so like, so my point is that like, I think people think that for some reason they should take some of these harder classes at their institutions.
mhm.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
Take the hard classes at like the easiest place you can get a cheap, easy A, and then make sure those credits transfer. Don't take the hard, like if you go to Yale, that's a good school, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
or Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut. So you go to Yale or Harvard. Don't take OChem at Yale or Harvard.
Yeah,
Take it at,
community college.
yes, the Southie
and
Community
cheaper.
College. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And get those taken care of. And then you don't have to, do the classes,
They're harder.
And again, I think that's the other thing is like, I mean, they definitely do weight institutions, but they don't weight the classes. Like if you do an OChem class during your summer, they don't care. Just go ahead and get it done. And also, I hired both of you, yes.
mhm.
Yeah.
When have I ever asked for your GPA?
Not once.
Never.
Never. Have I? I mean, we need your license just so we can do like certain pharmacy stuff and all that. Like, but I've never once asked for your GPA. Have I ever? I don't even know if I've. And if I saw your resume, it was the same idea, right? I want to see the story. Who is this person that we're about to bring on? In so again, I mean, I think GPA is used more as a weed out than a
Yeah.
weed in.
Yeah,
It's not as important once you get into vet school.
But you do whatever you can to beat the system and get yourself that best GPA possible, because you just don't want to like suffer like what we all did, probably what I did, right, was suffer through some of these hard classes and then get C's or get B minuses or whatever, and then all of a sudden that stays on your transcript,
yeah,
So yeah, go and get that easy A.
yeah. I knew a lot of people who went to community college for OChem instead of CSU, or enrolled in CSU.
Jumped.
Sorry, do you want to check the camera?
So the next one is English.
I mean,
Eh.
yeah, I can tell. You want to show everyone your handwriting?
You can save that.
Doctors
mean-
are supposed to have bad handwriting.
That's why we
that's
type
what they keep
everything
telling
now.
me.
I mean, no. Like, no. I mean, you have to, but no.
I think English is important, but it's not really necessary, I guess, for like on a daily. Like I don't know hardly anything about grammar. Probably I don't use capital letters.
Yeah,
I do use them in medical records now.
I think it's just a Gen Z thing.
Yeah,
Is that you? Are you Gen Z?
we're the same age.
We're
Right.
like the weird 6-year gap that doesn't have a generation.
No, we are Gen Z. Matt's Gen Z. He doesn't.
Mm.
He just doesn't know he's Gen Z.
Very cool.
Mm.
Matt, if we can you show your tattoo? Come on, show it. It says, what does it say?
Emus Contuli
No, what does that mean?
means let's go Cubs in Latin.
Oh my god.
Big Cubs fan. So I think you wanted to get another tattoo. So for we had 4 viewers, and we have 3, and one of them's me, I think. And one of them might be you. And the third one's probably Matt's burner account.
It's probably Samuel watching from our.
Yeah, exactly. We don't even have people in our clinic watch.
They went home.
Yeah.
It's almost 6.
But we should find out if anyone has any ideas for your next tattoo.
You can get Henry's paw print on your body if you want.
What if
he's
you
a good
why don't you
dog.
get our logo?
Yeah.
Just married to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, man.
branded like right here.
We're just big. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Okay, what's next?
Art.
Yes.
Is that so?
Dude, art was sweet.
What art did you get to take? Because I have beef with CSU's this part of CSU.
I don't know. I took it from this crazy old man.
Was it real art or was it just learning about art?
No, like we
That's so
no, yeah, it was good. But I went to a liberal arts school, so I took a lot of I took theology, I took philosophy, I took a lot of that stuff.
CSU, if you're like a science major at CSU, you're not allowed to take a creative art. You have to take art history. So like I really enjoy photography and painting and all this stuff, and I really wanted to take those courses, and they would not let me.
Oh,
I had to take
No.
art history, and then my other art class was medieval history that I took in New Zealand.
that sounds
And
sweet.
it sounds cool until you realize that European any education under the Queen is very different than our education, because they like
You tell.
they like memorize maps of Europe, and like they expected me to know where all the countries were in Europe, and just like went off the bat of like when this battle was happening and that battle, and I was like, I have no concept of Europe or anything that has happened over there ever. And so it was a little difficult for me, but
I took Greek mythology and
that's so cool.
in literature of the Holocaust.
That's cool. Interesting.
A little
Yeah.
depressing, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But
Maybe
thought provoking.
leave that out of your first date conversations. Okay, what's next?
That's it. I don't see chemistry on here,
What?
and I'm gonna be
Really?
a bit upset. They took it off the prereqs. This is for CSU. It does not.
Illinois required it.
Am I like stupid? You don't see it, right? Biochem?
Chemistry lab, but
Where? Oh, yeah, it does say chemistry lab.
Pour the stuff down the sink. Do
yeah,
it.
1 credit of
nothing bad will
lab.
happen.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Why did we take OChem again? If it wasn't, what the heck?
I don't know. They wanted us to
Rite of
draw-
passage.
make little drawings.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Okay, hold on. We have our top fan. Shout out to Zoe. Zoe says OChem isn't a prereq anymore, but you have to take biochem class with OChem as a prereq.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. That's how they get around all the stuff. Like you have to take all the advanced courses because you can't take the next course without taking OChem first.
Do they have a
Makes sense.
different, maybe Zoe can tell us, do they have a different group of things for like people who didn't go to CSU?
No, this is for anyone.
All right, we're gonna have to get Zoe out here. Get her on the podcast.
I know.
Well, thanks, Zoe. Thanks for being our
Our
number
top fan.
number one
fan.
fan and only person who listens.
Yeah.
So I guess also if anyone else out there has knowledge of other programs and if they have anything different.
Oh, I did want to talk about that because, and I think I have it written down. There's 2 like usernames. It's not meant to be like a advertisement, but there's 2 people who have guides that I have watched help other people. And like one, her name is Grace Goes Vet is like her username. And she has a guide of like every single vet school and their prereqs, their average cost of living, their tuition, like everything you would need to know about every single school is like on her Instagram. And it's crazy. And she's put a lot of work into it. And it's cool to compare them. And then there is a pre-vet to success guide that's on Amazon that is from, it's like Zoe_.
Zoe_HALPATE.
She has a like guide on all the steps of getting into vet school too.
That's cool. Okay, so obviously we've beaten this. Hold on. Zoe has spoken. Okay, she currently attends there. It's the same for even if you aren't at CSU. She's looking into it this cycle. Well, good luck. And if
Yep.
you need help or you need experience, feel free to come visit. Okay. The next thing would be, I think, so how do you put this stuff in? So you have to take the prereqs. So look up the prereqs, but how do you decide which school to go to?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer.
I mean,
How many did you apply to?
the first cycle it was about 6, and then the second cycle was 8.
How did you pick which ones you applied to?
I wanted to stay close to home, so I did mostly Big Ten schools.
No one,
Sorry.
you're talking to veterinarians. No one knows that.
So like in the in-state school, University of Illinois, Wisconsin, Purdue, Ohio State, Michigan State, Iowa State, just anything located in the Midwest, basically. I know some people apply based on like species they want to work with. So like I know we have a current extern with us who goes to Iowa State, and they're more livestock focused. Illinois was more small animal and exotics focused, so that was like their big calling card. I don't know what like CSU's.
They're very known for equine stuff, so that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Was there. I applied based on location too. Mine was Cornell because it was the closest to home. I have a thing with Tufts is like technically the closest school to my hometown. But I just had a negative experience there when I was in undergrad or in high school actually. And it was not anything relevant. It was just like a vibe thing.
Yeah, because isn't it like an old mental institution?
I have no idea.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like out in Grafton, Massachusetts. I remember being like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, maybe. No, it's like out in the middle of nowhere. Like, no offense to Tufts, like obviously, but
Yeah.
I think it's like like an old mental institution. And I could be making this up. This was many years ago.
It might be. I have no idea.
Yeah, I just remember it was like pouring rain, like literally.
Depressed.
Yeah, it was like I think that's where they filmed the Blair Witch Project. I could be wrong, but
I had no interest in applying there just based on visiting, and it was there's nothing wrong with anything Tufts. It was just it was not for me. So I did Cornell because that was the next closest, and then CSU because I was already here for undergrad. That's the whole reason I came to do undergrad at CSU was to try to get in-state tuition for vet school, and then I applied to Oregon. And there's no basis in that, just that I've never been to Oregon. I thought it sounded cool.
I chose every school except the Midwest. I said, if just anywhere but the Midwest. And I maintain that actually.
Not for everyone.
It's not for anyone. Flyover states. Sorry.
How many did you apply to? Do you remember?
I applied to Oregon State. Same reason I wanted to go to Oregon. I applied to Cornell because Cornell was just the top school.
Yeah.
I applied to CSU because I went there.
Did you do UC Davis?
No.
That's so funny. You didn't either, right?
I was told not to unless you're a California resident.
Why? Just for tuition or?
No, because they only mostly take California residents. Same with Texas A&M.
I think I might have applied to Florida.
I wanted to apply to Florida, and then they added microbiology as a prereq, and I did not want to take it.
Yeah, I think that was it, though. I don't think I applied to any other school. I mean, to me, I think a big decision is, you got to talk about it, right? Like, there's also got to be, you have to factor in how much money you're going to spend, right? And if there's a way that you can get in-state tuition and get a lower tuition, you should try to take advantage of that. And I mean, we tell, people who work with us all the time, like we have a lot of, people who are younger who want to become vets, but there's really nothing wrong with going and working for a year or two before you go to vet school and making some money and saving it so that you can, take out fewer loans. I mean, right? Again, I mean, you think about how much, we generally start people off like, anywhere from 15 to 18 bucks an hour, right? Depending on experience. So, but I mean, even at 15 bucks an hour, if you're living at home with your parents, you want to do some math really quick?
Quick math.
I mean, if you can make 20, 30 grand, even if you can save 10 grand, I mean, if I said you can pay 10 grand less, would you take that now?
Yeah, that's what I did. I worked like hell in undergrad and saved up 10 grand, and I lived off of that in vet school. And then the first summer did the same thing, worked like hell.
And
jobs.
In urban areas, I mean, you can probably you can make more money. I mean, again, we're out in, the sticks, but like some of these places, I mean, they're paying good money for people that will come and, tech or TA or receptionist, scribe. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, go and make some money and save that money so that you have something so you don't have to take out the same amount of loans. I mean, I worked all through vet school. I worked in the pharmacy.
That's nice. I've heard.
Just fill prescriptions.
Working in the pharmacy?
I've heard it's a nice job to have, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my counting skills got better, I think.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. I mean, I will say it helped me a lot with knowing medications really well. Like knowing, they haven't changed the sizes of cephalexin since I was in, at the pharmacy. They haven't, a lot of these things stay the same. So it was useful. But I mean, I also I don't know, go get a job as a bartender. That's what I wish I had done.
My friend did that and she loved it. She will always stand by that she loved having the escape and having a group of friends that were not in vet school to talk to about things.
Yeah, because like I don't know, I don't I think it just helps you be well-rounded, go make some extra money, go work wherever you can.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter where it is. Go work at the theater. I don't, do whatever. But by all means, start saving money. Even if you can get even if you aren't having to take out loans for vet school, still start saving money
Yeah.
because you will need it eventually. Anyway, okay, so there's no real rhyme or reason to picking the vet schools. Do we want to touch on this? Is maybe controversial, and it depends, but do we want to touch on the island schools?
I was debating that because I don't have personal experience with them, so I don't want to say anything out of pocket, but like we did have like Rossi's at our school, and there's pros and
And
cons.
you, just for those of us out here in the stratosphere, what is a Rossi?
Ross Vet School is one of the island schools.
St. Kitts.
Is that
Yeah.
the same?
There's
Yeah, that's where it's at.
and then there's the
St. Matthews.
yeah.
And
Did you
it's
make that up?
No.
Is that your school?
No, not my school.
Patron saint of the Cubs,
What the
Yeah.
heck is the other one called?
St. George.
St. George's.
Yeah, St. George.
Yeah. And then they've started to make all of these ancillary, like
Lincoln Memorial.
yeah, all
Long
these schools,
Island.
and they don't have any. What is it, like didactic? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, they don't have like a teaching hospital. So
So
they
you do
go
all of the
They transplant them to.
they
I need to-
basically do rotations for fourth year. And this was a conversation that came up on our TikTok after Dr. J was talking about like the newer schools not having a teaching hospital, and people were like, all these schools have teaching hospitals and even the newer ones have teaching hospitals, and it's like I don't know because I've like was on externship with kids from these schools, and it was hit or miss whether they enjoyed it or not, because a lot of them felt like there's benefits to externing full-time for fourth year and then there's cons.
Zoe did have a question, though. Zoe wanted to know, are there pros and cons to applying to multiple schools?
It costs money.
Yeah, just the financial.
I don't remember if it's like 100 or 200 or what it is now, but it costs money to apply to each school. So I guess that would be a con. If you have money, then I don't see a con other than just writing additional like
Essays for
Yeah.
each school.
You have to write an essay for each school.
Depends.
sometimes.
Most of them are pretty much the same, so you can kind of.
Yeah, just reword stuff.
Yeah.
What did you have any? Do you have any advice for their essay?
Yeah. So when writing essays, if you can, I would try to get someone you know, or maybe even hire someone who looks at essays professionally. I'm fortunate enough to have a aunt who's a lawyer who reads college essays for part of her job. So having her was like a really huge benefit, because it was like, you should say this because it'll sound better to the admissions board, stuff like that. So I think like having someone to read them and go over them, and even if it's just your local vet, like your mentor vet or whoever, I think it's a good idea to get second eyes on it besides your own.
I think I wrote down the VMCAS like questions, and there's like 3 generic questions that they do every year. And they a lot of times have to do with like why you want to be a vet. And my advice is the same as I think was it Sydney who was talking about it, where it's like don't say that you've just wanted to be a vet your whole life and that's why you want to be a vet, and you love animals and you would be a great vet, because that's all of us. And so it's more important to like be really specific with like what you want to do in the veterinary industry, like what kind of vet do you want to be, and be as specific as possible. And I've given this advice before and I've had people say, "Oh, well, you don't want to lie on your application." And I don't think that it's lying. I think it's just like just pick something and be specific, and if it changes, that's fine. Like I had a very specific reason of I want to be an orthopedic surgeon for horses because I had this surgery when I was a kid and this is what inspired me and I have this experience with horses growing up. and that's what I'm going to do. And that's how I'm going to help horses. And that's specific enough for people to understand where it comes from versus just saying, like, I grew up with horses. I want to work with horses. I love horses. You know?
Yeah, no, I completely, I mean, and I think the other thing is like, it's not disingenuous to say what your dream is right now, right? Even if you're 22, writing your application, ready to apply to school, right? That's how old these people are. You're 22, you're applying, you're like, whatever your dream is right now, write that down, be specific about that. It's okay to change, right? I mean, I didn't decide to go into equine med until I was in my 4th year, right? That's okay. And it's okay if your dream changes 5 times in a month while you're in school, right? Again, the point is you're trying to show these people on the board that you're ready to be a professional at some point. Obviously, with some of us, they failed miserably in their decision-making process, and we will never be ready to be a professional, but their mistake. So yeah, I really think we should need to get someone from a board on here so we can ask them these questions. I bet, I wonder if Jay's been on a board.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just so we don't pander too much. We don't want Zoe to fall asleep on us. GRE versus Casper.
Yeah, I don't think we don't really have to touch much on this, but the GRE is the test that was a thing when I applied to vet school. And it seems like they don't require it anymore. They are moving towards either not requiring the GRE or requiring this thing called the Casper test. And I naturally know nothing about it because I did not have to take it, but it's essentially like a situational test where they're like giving you like ethical questions, is my understanding.
Good thing I didn't take that one.
So yeah, like the GRE, when I applied the first time in 2019, it was required. When I didn't get in the first cycle, then the second cycle, which happened during COVID, all the schools dropped it. And I think that's what kind of killed the GRE then.
COVID killed the interviews too, because the interviews, my class was the last to interview at CSU, and they don't do it anymore because since COVID.
Illinois still does interviews.
COVID
killed a lot of things.
Video killed the radio star, and COVID killed the interviews.
Yeah. And the GRE.
And the GRE. Yeah, I don't remember the GRE.
Yeah, I remember there's like an app that you could do daily questions on to prep for it, and that's what I did, and it helped a lot. And then like the night before I took it, I looked up this YouTube video on like how to write a good essay, and I don't remember what video it was, but it got me like I think it was like the 98th percentile for writing, which I've never done in my life. Like I've never been good at that.
You know what? I took the GRE in Grand Junction.
Did you
That's
really?
what I remember. And when I took the GRE, I drove through Glenwood Canyon and we made this drive. And this was like the first time I'd really made the drive, from the Front Range all the way to, essentially Utah, right? Junction. And I just remember thinking on the drive, I was with one of my friends from college, high school. And I just remember thinking, wow, this place is magnificent. And so it's just funny to be, every time I go through the canyon, I go back to that first drive.
That's cool.
From the GRE. We went to a local establishment after that is no longer in business. R.I.P. Hooters. We got apple martinis at Hooters afterwards in Utah, or on the Utah border.
On the Utah border?
I think so.
I don't think Utah would like Hooters very much.
This was 10 plus years ago now. Anyway, no free ads. Sorry, Hooters.
Rip.
Yeah, the Gen Z doesn't know, doesn't even know, so I probably won't get in trouble. Maybe. Okay, what's lores? Is that a
Letters of Rec?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought that was
Lord of the Rings.
That's what I was like. Yeah, I mean, I think those are important to watch. I don't know how much they affect the vet school application, but
get some motivation from that last battle. Letters of Rec.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Gandalf, but then he came back. So
what's that
no,
guy's?
no spoilers.
Yeah, R.I.P. That other guy that dies.
Boromir.
Samuel talks about him all the time, and I'm like, I don't know. I think he's fine.
I prefer to call him Trevlin from 007. Same
Sean
actor,
Bean.
Sean Bean. He's always a bad guy.
Except in Game of Thrones.
Some people, that's where
Ned
you
Stark.
thrive, you know?
He dies in everything, though.
Game of Thrones, he dies too.
Yeah.
Well, everyone dies in Game of Thrones. Except for, no spoilers, dude.
Sorry.
Man, I set you up for that one. Anyway, letters of Lord of the Rings, letters of rec.
Yeah, so you're I think 3 is like the standard, and then some schools allow more. But 3 is what's recommended. And usually they say to get, like I was told, to get 1 from a college professor or advisor, 1 from a vet, and then 1 from like either or someone who knows you really well, or like a manager. Like I think I did a manager for mine.
Yeah.
What did you do?
3 was recommended, but I highly recommend getting 4 because I kind of see it as like a safety net. Because it's like, oh, more layers of rec. Got 1 from my mentor, vet. Got it from my advisor at school. And then 1 was from someone I worked at the Humane Society with. She was the manager of the Humane Society. And then the other was the head of the research lab that I was a part of. So kind of all around that area.
How did you ask?
That's a good question.
I think my mentor, I just straight up asked him, like, hey, can you write a letter of recommendation for vet school? He's like, yeah. And for the others, it was a longer ask because it's like, hey, I feel you've been very important in my undergraduate career. And I'm would like if you would write a letter of recommendation. It'd be an honor if you did. Like saying it would be an honor, and that makes them feel like, oh, gears them up for it. But
I get to write an essay.
yeah.
Yes.
And then it's weird when they're emailing you saying like, what should I include on it? And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Like if you don't know them well enough to just like
I would not
straight
do
out
that, yeah.
ask them, I think it's a good idea to email them asking for, like I've been told, always say strong letter of recommendation, because if they can't write you a good one, you don't want them to write you a bad one.
Right. We
And-
don't just ask for reviews here. We ask for 5-star reviews here.
Yes. Yeah. So ask for a good or strong letter of recommendation, and then attach like your resume or whatever so that they can reference experiences that you've had. Because they might forget, you know, or not maybe know all of the things that you've done to prepare yourself for this career. So it's a good thing to reference.
Yeah, I agree. I think you need to say, can you write me a good letter? Otherwise, it's, and I do think that, you know, again, it's more important to get someone who knows you and can say, you know, but I have also heard that the letters of recommendation are generally only used negatively as well, right? So like everyone's going to get someone to write them like it's the same with hiring, right? When people write letters of rec for people for hiring, it's just like, okay, yeah, whatever, they like you, okay, right. But if you get one and they're like, actually, this person's a real mother. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where's the censor? No. Mother. No. Do we have it? Is there a
I don't
censor?
know if we have the censor sound. There's like a buzzer.
We should probably get a censor one when
Yeah.
I'm on. But like if they say something negative, that can be used against you. And it's kind of I think the same with your GPA, right? Like a good GPA won't necessarily get you in, but a bad GPA will keep you out.
Yeah. Make it harder. Like you have to work harder and get more supplemental things.
Zoe's our best friend here. Are you Zoe? Is this your burner? Have you been?
It's a personal phone, actually.
You've been on this whole time. So letters of rec, whatever. Interviews. What's an MMI?
Like mixed multiple interviews. They're like the ones that, again, I don't know if they do them anymore, and I never did one, but they put you like in a room with multiple students and ask you questions together.
With
Wow.
other students?
Normally, that
Yeah.
sounds like something you'd have to find in Europe, like Amsterdam.
Here. I don't remember.
We can go through an interview or a mixed multiple interview.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounded scary, and I never had to deal with it, but I knew people who did. And naturally it's like annoying to hear other people's like responses, especially like if you think of like pre-vet students, like that sounds like the most annoying room to be in.
Edgy.
What kind of questions did you get interviewed?
Not in that format, no.
But you got interviewed normally.
Hmm.
What kind of questions did they ask you?
I am not going to say the exact questions because we did sign an NDA on it.
What?
Did you not?
Did Harvey Weinstein
You
run
went to
the
Stacy.
interview? They didn't interview me.
Really?
I would never.
He walked
Are you
in.
kidding me? They would never let me if I got interviewed.
Yeah, yep. There were some that were like ethical questions where they
They
present
made you
with-
sign an NDA?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Illinois
We had a girl
too.
quit here because we had the idea to have people sign NDAs like years ago because we were trying to like prevent like, now I look back and I'm like, practice secrets? Like what? You know, like
Yeah.
we don't have any proprietary secrets. Like we keep the Provecto in the bottom shelf. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
tell us other secrets. Like I don't know of any good vet secrets.
The like stupidest question that I got was there's 6 questions and you had for all but one of them you had like 2 minutes to prepare outside the door after reading the question. Like they would tell you, okay, flip it over and read the question and you have 2 minutes to prepare and then you have to go in the room and answer the question. And yeah.
Sounds like a lot.
They give you the question.
There's like a line of people. Like, and so
Have you seen Suits?
no.
Okay. Sounds like the
A little
beginning of
bit.
Suits.
But like
Did you have a
there's-
bunch of marijuana in a briefcase?
No.
Okay, not the same. Different.
A little different. Yeah. But all but one of the questions you could read ahead of time and they were like some of them were situational of like ethics stuff where like they gave you something and wanted to see how you would respond to it. Like some infectious disease or
You
something.
have a bow and arrow. There's someone's cat out in front of your house. Do you shoot it? Sub question, do you post it on Facebook? Man, I could have saved them a candidate right then and there.
Well, one of them was essentially like if you were a carpenter, what would you do with a toilet plunger?
What?
That was it. And it was in the room. You had like you had to live react to a person sitting across from you as you read it.
I mean, you've seen Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like you just do the Step Brothers interviews over and over again.
Yeah, that one was.
Kill.
But yeah, that's how that went. So
wow.
I don't know what they gained. I guess creative thinking probably because I just like rambled
So what kind of ethical questions?
I think there was probably a euthanasia question, and because I feel like that's always the one that you prepare for in your head before like vet school interviews, or the thing that people told me to prepare for was like
if someone wants to declaw their cat, do you do it?
Yeah, or like stuff that we do deal with all the time of like if they can't afford to treat it and they want to go home and shoot it, like what do you say?
I mean, I'm sure considering now, like with it passing October, Prop 129 is going to be probably a question in vet school interview.
I don't know because
if you don't get in to vet school,
would you want us to,
Yeah.
Would you like to pay us a different way?
yeah, do you want to consider
Door number
being a
1,
VPA?
Door number 2.
Probably.
You can pay us either way.
It's probably in there. I like would not be surprised at all.
A college from Northern Colorado is endorsing it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Depending on like the hot topic at the time. So like my second cycle was in the midst of COVID. There's a lot of COVID questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was shocked when he told me that. Because what were the questions? Like, they asked about vaccine stuff?
Yeah, so like it was kind of like, what's your thought on like the pushback against like state regulations
For like masks or vaccines?
and they can't get mad about this now. That's in the past.
No.
Oh, they can get mad at you, buddy.
They can and they will.
Yeah,
they
they
will
will.
find you.
Dr. Matthew David Vonch.
Yeah.
If I learned anything from social media, it's that they will
We need you
find you.
in Illinois.
No, Dr. Foreman's got me. He's good.
George?
No.
Oh.
Not the boxer.
Dude, RIP, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, I forgot you died.
Okay, moving on. So you did interviews. You did not do interviews?
Yeah, I did I only got one interview. It was with Illinois, and it was all online. It was basically one person in a room with 4 other people. They had a administrative person, another faculty, a 4th-year student, and then some random 4th person that just kind of threw in.
That sounds like how Oklahoma's was, because I went through.
And they
I
took
had a-
turns asking questions.
What questions did they
Yeah.
ask? Did you sign an NDA?
I think I did. There was a form I had to sign before doing the interview, so yeah.
Does everyone know what an NDA is out there? 22-year-olds probably don't.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah. So
CSU has you sign a lot of those in vet school.
really?
Oh yeah, did you not have? You did not have the
Again,
same vet
he
school
walked
experience.
in.
Yeah.
He walked in. He didn't interview.
I'm sure I signed a lot of stuff.
There's
I'm
like one
not sure what
for-
any of it meant.
For every communications thing that we did. It was, and like all the capstones, like they were all, every exam like that, it was all like, you cannot speak of this ever again.
So Jane Shaw is going to come and knock.
Yeah, no, that's, yes.
I
Yes.
love that. I love Jane. Okay, so I think obviously we've beaten this a lot, and I think if we get more questions from Zoe or the other
People.
anyone who watches in the future when Hannah clips this up, yeah, Matt's got to be hungry by now. Are you hungry?
Matt doesn't eat anymore.
Yeah, I haven't really ate a lot.
He's
in
gone
this
down in
apprenticeship.
size.
That's good. That's good for your Bumble profile.
Not in a healthy way, but yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I think probably the last bit of advice is like, give us succinctly what is your one piece of advice for someone applying to veterinary school that can make their application stand out, whether it's when to start or what to say in an essay or whatever. What is it?
You have a list, so
Yeah,
if there's
I got a
anything-
lot of advice, but
You can read that?
Yeah,
yeah, I can read it.
that's dinner. That's the dinner bell.
Okay.
That's the dinner? That's a dinner?
That's Samuel texting me.
Oh. Is that why you're salivating? Very Pavlovian.
Yeah, Pavlov loves a dog. Let's say start as early as you can. High school. Get into a vet clinic as soon as possible. I think as you get those vet hours, your application looks better and better and better and will stand out. And I do think you should try to diversify your application in terms of doing multiple things, whether it's research, internships, volunteer work, working at different animal species vet clinics. I think that's really important. Coming from someone, because both of them got in on the first try. Getting in the first try, it's not the end of the world. It is disappointing, but you prepare much better for the application process because of it, and you know what to look for now in that instance.
I also think, not to cut you off, but I have been watching The Sopranos. And if your family makes a large donation to the school, you have a better chance of getting in, I think. According to that show.
No, that's definitely true because we had someone in our class who
Oh my gosh.
probably shouldn't be in, who should
Oh, no.
have graduated.
Yeah, if there are any buildings that don't have a name on them and your family has lots of money, you could
And I-
donate.
Don't care. She will never watch this, so.
Oh, well, she's not going to watch it because the camera broke again. Nikon, if you're watching, send us a new camera that is better than this piece of trash. Or other people who do this kind of stuff, tell us what camera you use. Because obviously this one is rat
Broke.
garbage.
Last piece of advice.
Keep going.
So
Now
yeah,
the camera's going again.
don't be disappointed if you don't get in the first time around. Learn from it. That's the basis of it. It'll make it easier to apply again. And then I would say my last piece of advice is the hardest part of vet school is getting in. Because once you get in, I thought it was smooth sailing after I got in. So
Dr. Hannah,
I think the hardest part of vet school is getting out.
you stole that from me.
I know, but I had to say it.
Okay.
You can say it. Do you want to say it?
No.
I'll cut mine.
No, yours is good.
But yeah, I think I just had a really hard time in vet school compared to undergrad. I thought undergrad was really easy. And vet school was really hard for me. And somehow I got into vet school really easily. And so I'd think like however fast you get into vet school clearly doesn't dictate how well you're going to do in vet school or how good of a vet you're going to be. I think just essentially don't give up, like, and you're never too late. And I think that genuinely anyone who wants to get into vet school can. It's just a matter of how many times are you willing to try, and what are you willing to do to try to get in. I've met people. There was a girl in my class who applied 8 times, and that's a lot of times, and that's a lot of money and a lot of years. But she's here and thriving and a vet now, so it's it's not impossible. And yeah.
Yeah, respect. I mean, respect to that, because I mean, honestly, you're gonna run into a lot of obstacles once you get through, once you become a vet. I mean, you can probably speak to it, right? I mean, we all run into. I mean, shoot, I was probably an obstacle to you this morning. I was probably lucky we were in the same room. You wanted to throw something at me.
Me?
Yeah, on my racehorse monologue. No, but I mean, I think my advice is like, just because you didn't get into vet school doesn't mean that you failed. Just because you got on the wait list doesn't mean you failed, right? Just because you didn't get on the second time or the third time, it doesn't mean that you failed. Like, you're going to have to define success and failure for yourself. But certainly I would say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So if you don't get in the first time, don't just go back to the same clinic that you've been working on for 5 years and just work there again for a year. Go and diversify your application, right? Go and potentially ask other schools. And then I would always say, from my perspective, the other thing you always have to keep in mind throughout this whole process is that there is a giant financial component that all of these schools want to hide from you, and they want to wait until you sign on the dotted line. It's like, oh, don't worry, come be a vet. It's going to be so fun. Just one little thing, $200,000 to $300,000 of debt that you're just going to have to take on. It's no big deal. As long as you take a corporate job after school, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Right. No big deal. Just become be a vet. You want to be a vet, right? We'll let you in. No. So keep track of the financial aspect of this. Start making that plan. And the other thing is, just because when you apply, that's what the tuition looks like, doesn't mean that it's not going to change a year later if you don't necessarily get in. I mean, the tuition now compared to even when I went to school, which was less than 10 years ago, is astronomical, So just that's what I would say, to keep the financial aspect in mind.
And then if you do get rejected by a school, ask that school why they rejected your application. They'll usually provide feedback. If a school doesn't want to provide feedback, it's kind of a red flag, in my opinion. But most school
Oh, sorry. Just kidding.
Most schools should provide feedback, and it really did help for the second time around.
Yeah, totally. And again, I mean, I think that it wasn't a failure, right? Like, it's just a stepping stone. Final thoughts before we sign off? Do we have a preview of what we're doing next yet?
No, I have no idea. I keep wanting to get Carson on to talk like internship versus apprenticeship, but she's told me she won't do it unless she's getting paid in the 3-digit margin.
Like $100?
Yeah, or more.
I don't know. She texted me. She said she would do it. She'll do anything if I give her if I mandate it. Well, I mean, I think certainly, you know what? Zoe is our only fan and friend here. So Zoe, if you have any thoughts on what we should talk about next, or again, if you have a thought on who we should get as a guest, then let us know. Dr. Carson, I don't know. She's
a rebel.
She's a rebel without a cause. So I guess we will come up with something for next month and put it together for you, and hopefully, double our viewership.
Yeah.
And we'll iron out all of these live issues by then.
Heck yeah.
And once again, Brandon Flowers, if you're watching, please give us access to your song for free so we can play it as our intro music. Thank you.
Thanks for listening and watching.
Is that it? Zoe says Zoe says breaking into the large animal industry when you weren't born into it. So
That'd be a good
My
one.
whole brand.
For you.
it's your brand. I mean, it would be interesting to get someone on who was born into it and see what the differences are. Sam is starving.
Does he cook?
Yeah.
Does he cooks? Normally, Hannah just lets us talk for a couple hours and then cuts out all the cussing. Is Zoe still with us? How do I tell if someone's still with us? Sam's watching.
Is he really?
Sam, what's for dinner? How do I get into college on a pickleball scholarship? Ooh, that is a good question. We have a young man out there, or woman, I don't know. Could be man, could be a woman, asking how you get to college on a pickleball scholarship. Oh, actually, that is a good question. Now they're interacting.
Oh, good.
Very
That's what we
nice.
want.
Well, I think we'll reserve the pickleball talk for a different episode, although I do think it's important to play sports.
Yeah.
And shout out to my sponsors, Babolat. Thank you. No free ads. It's not free, they pay me. Babolat.
Well, now she can see the other person she's talking to.
All right. Represent. Represent Babolat and PPA Tour and Glenwood Veterinary Clinic. No free ads.
Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give us a like, subscribe, and share. And maybe if you did or you didn't, please leave your comments and thoughts below. Do you agree with what was said in this episode? What are your thoughts on this industry topic? Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.